Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of This Week in X. We are assembled here today not to talk about an X-Men comic book, but to talk about the Hellfire Gala looks that were debuted this week in Entertainment Weekly on EW.com. They're all drawn by the fantastic Russell Dauterman, and they represent who some of the cream of the crop of the X-Men will be wearing to the Hellfire Gala. And as we chatted about it, we realized we had to stifle our need to chat about it and get together to talk about it together. So really no spoilers here other than visual spoilers, but you know us, we'll manage to spoil something along the way. So just be warned that, you know, anything could happen. Before we even start going through the looks, we have to just talk about how we're going to react to fashion, because it's going to be all lightning rounds. So the first lightning round is, do you care about fashion? What is your history with fashion? Do you ever look at this stuff outside of X-Men? Give us a little bit of context so we know where you're coming from. Starting with Tyler.
Zero experience with, with fashion. My only experience is watching Project Runway and Project Catwalk.
Okay. Harry?
So I have had a job in the past where I would be for a newspaper covering various fundraisers and fashion shows and what have you. So I've taken photos of several runways. I have been at fashion shows. Now, I will admit, though, I am still a dope-ass guy, and I don't have the greatest handle on fashion personally. I think I've figured out color matching. That's as far as I'll go. And but no, I definitely have seen. I think I understand the language, if not the intricacies. So I'm excited to see all of these looks, genuinely, because it's a fun little thing we're doing.
Fariha?
So goose egg about fashion, or especially high fashion. I just because I look at the Met Gala pictures and I'm like, what's going on over here? What's happening? But I know that's the point, right? However, I'm so excited about this whole Hellfire Gala and everything. I called my mom and told her to ship the best dress that I have, which I will be wearing for the recordings of the show. So I am so ready from that point of view. You wouldn't even believe.
This is going to be so fun.
For me, I don't know that I ever really super paid attention to it. I mean, I did theater, so I had to have an idea of what reads, which I think a lot of fashion is like, how do you make something read up close versus far away? But then I became a really big fan of Drag Race. I've always been a big fan of drag. And that has its own moral judgments that come with it. And we could talk about Drag Race and if that's good or bad for the community at some other time. But in trying to be a better Drag Race fan, I really went to say, how can I understand more about fashion? Because I don't like to just say I like this or I don't like this about anything. If you've learned this about me by now on this channel, I like to understand the why. So then I started reading. I got obsessed with red carpet coverage, and any major red carpet awards that happens in Hollywood land, I am on all of the big style blogs and I'm reading about every look and I'm seeing if I can say the thing about the look before they say it to see if I'm attuned. So I'm probably still a neophyte. I don't know all of the names for the stuff and the references that it's making, but I think I'm starting to maybe understand a little bit how things are balanced. So I have no actual experience. It's purely internet experience but I definitely am obsessed.
That makes both you and Harry the expert.
Oh boy. Lightning round number 1, we have Storm. Storm is described here as literally wearing the weather. Dauterman says, I gave her a cape made of clouds of lightning. And this was an idea that he had been having in his pocket for a really long time to execute on Storm. Tyler, what is your reaction to this Storm look?
Okay, my reaction to it would be based on the fact that this is supposed to be couture, right? But based on how Dauterman says it, it's supposed to reference both couture and superheroes. The problem I have with that is that couture is not supposed to be practical, but a superhero uniform is supposed to be practical. So you're trying to mix something that's not practical with something that is supposed to be utilitarian, supposed to be practical. It doesn't quite work. So in this case, it's sending a lot of mixed messages for me. I mean, the top half is regal, the bottom half is skanky. So I really don't like it. And And in that sense, I mean, that's why I don't like it, because visually I think it's really impactful, especially with the clouds as the cape and lightning. But I'm not feeling it too much.
Harry.
So I can't disagree that I think it is kind of the separation between the top and bottom is a little incongruous with being a good utility and fashion, what have you. I do like the heels and the shoulder plates and her kind of hairpiece all have the matching gold color. I think it kind of brings the outfit together, even if there are clashing intents with how it's designed. Also, on a very primal level, her wearing the weather is really cool, and I like it a lot. And that's my cutting commentary for that. It's good.
Cool counts for a lot in fashion, right?
It looks cool. She's gonna own the room. I really think so.
Fariha.
So I don't think Storm can ever outdo her wedding dress. That was like, with the panther, like when she came from the top, and then it was the peak. So she can never top that. But the thing is, I agree with Tyler that it's just kind of a little awkward, but especially with the top, but it still looks very sexy. So, at least
it's
to
hot.
me, it's hot. And then
it's hot.
Because I'm thinking that, she will be just there, and then it's like, and then, I don't know. I mean, it's just like gonna be a lot of lightning and stuff like that. I just need to see her walking in it to have like more judgment, It's just like a pose and I get it, but just twirl a little bit, honey. Let's see.
So I wish I had taken notes on this one because I have so much to say. I think first there's a clear Black Panther nod in the way that the gold comes together in the center of the black of the bodysuit. And so this is Dauterman clearly putting a little bit of a spin of like, even if they're estranged, she still was or is, who knows, a queen of Wakanda. And you got to put a nod to that. But then to have the X medallion right on that, and then to do the gold choker on the neck, which is very inspired by African fashion, drawn from tribal looks, is definitely a statement. So I think that's one thing. Then I think that this has really interesting proportions, even if we take away the cape. Like, yeah, it's a bathing suit, but because it has these like crazy pointy epaulettes, and then because of the gold trim at the bottom of it, it actually makes her shoulders look really broad, while it even like takes in her hips, because the gold doesn't read as hips because it's such a bright color. And so her body shape reads just as like the body suit shape. So it's playing with proportion, which is, I think, a very fashion thing to be doing. But then finally, I was like, why isn't it a dress? Why isn't it a whole dress of clouds or whatever? And so I think that you can look at, Storm's always been about body. She used to just want to walk around nude. Storm knows how to rock a dress. We've seen her in all sorts of different fashion across the X-Line and Black Panther over the years. But if she's going to make a statement of Storm, who's both the ruler of Wakanda and on the Quiet Council and just Storm, she's Storm, I think that it's fine to have her in a look that continues to reference her classic X-Men look, and to put her in this long, sweepy dress, which you will hear me say some of the other people maybe should have had on, I think would be incongruous. I also love these closed-heeled shoes that have a little bit of a float at the heel to still kind of give you that like Gaga floating heel thing, because of the curve on the back of them. They're not just like a straight up clumpy clog. So I think it's actually cool. I think this probably more than almost all the other looks says a lot about her character and is rooted in like who she is.
So we have one expert on the show today. His name is Peter.
No, really not. Really not. There's going to be people who know about fashion who are listening to this and who are going to like read me for filth. But these are just the things that I noticed. Okay. So Storm, it sounds like overall we like it. And here's the thing. It's fantastical, which not all of them are, in that it acknowledges her power. Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So next, speaking of royalty in the X-Men, we have Jean Grey in her emerald and chartreuse look. And Dauterman says, I tried to synthesize iconography from Jean's best costumes into something new and runway ready. Tyler.
I mean, I like the color on her. I mean, the green color definitely works with her red hair. And of all things to reference, I really do not like the Jim Lee, head dress thing to reference it. Because I think that is, of all things to reference, I would reference the Marvel Girl mask more than that headgear. So I don't know, but I mean, this is good it doesn't really excite me because again, to me, it doesn't speak high fashion. It is, I mean, it's a good look. It is a good, it is a passable red carpet look even, but you know, it doesn't wow, you know, in that sense.
Harry.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same ballpark there, where I feel like it's perfectly fine. I think it's kind of got a powerful statement and what have you, but it doesn't really do a lot to excite me. There's not really a detail that makes it feel more high fashion or kind of just like extravagant or what have you. You know, I don't know if this is fair, but it almost looks like a costume you could see in like the House of M crossover that we already had. And a lot of the other costumes are more out there and a little bit more fantastical, where this feels like it could be theoretically a costume that she might already have at some point, the backless part aside. So yeah, I think it's okay. Not one of my favorites by far.
Fariha?
I feel like if I were invited to the Met Gala, I would probably wear something like this because I know nothing about fashion. And I would show up wearing that, you know, like it's just like, you know, and then I would be like, wow, I'm looking normal because this dress, like, you know, like what everyone is saying, I want this to become her costume. I want this to become her official look and official costume, minus the cape maybe, because no capes, Edna Mode was right. But the thing is, everything else, like it just like, I think that's what it is. So the thing is like, it doesn't feel like a gala look. So I don't know about that. You know, maybe Emma did something to her mind and then made her like she doesn't outshine her. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, this is not it, girl.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
This is something I will wear.
We're gonna get to it, but yeah, I don't think that you can even have a competition between Emma and Jean in this department. It doesn't even seem to be close.
But anyway, okay.
My thing with this one is I think it's like fashion from the back and it's not fashion from the front. That back is really striking. It has that big kind of diamond cutout of her back, and then the way that the butt cape comes up like actually halfway from her torso, where it's not just like from the waist. That's cool. Like that's really neat. But then when you look at it from the front, it doesn't really have a silhouette because the cape is just behind her. Like it almost should come around the sides or her hips a little bit more, so it like gives her volume, but instead it's kind of just like limply hanging off her ass. And so it creates this really weird moment where like it's this green on green color story, but there's like all these different greens. I feel like the weird chartreuse color of the back of the cape is fighting with the weird limey green of the top. Why is the cape the same color in the front and the back? Couldn't we like line the cape with a different color so it like has more pop? And then also these pants, like I just don't see this as like red carpet fashion. If somebody's wearing pants on a look like this, they're not hot pants. There's like a couple of stars who do this kind of look. Like I went through years of Met Gala and Oscar and stuff, but like especially with those X's at the leg, she's got those cool heels, which should make her leg look longer. Like that's why you do that kind of a heel. But then the X's cut her at the ankle and it actually makes her leg look shorter. So I think there's like something really wrong with the legs and the tightness of the pants and the way that the cape just like hangs behind her. But then when you look at that back shot, you're like, this is gorgeous. So it's like a silhouette problem. It's not that it's like an ugly thing. I just don't think the silhouette and from the front like really all goes together. Now we move on to the first gentleman on the Hellfire Gala red carpet, which is Cyclops. Dauterman says Scott's personality doesn't lend itself to over the top. So I went for a streamlined silhouette and a futuristic soldier vibe. I have opinions about all of these phrases in this sentence. Tyler, why don't you go first?
It is really difficult to break out of the suit for guys in a formal event, and I appreciate the way that Dauterman tries to redesign, especially the jacket. It still feels a little costumey to me. It's very military. I do like the high collars on Scott. I don't mind the visor. I mean, he's Cyclops after all, so one eye, that's fine. I kind of like the slick back hair, which is something that is slightly different from, because all the other characters, I mean, not all, the first two female characters, the hair didn't change at all.
Yeah.
And part of the look, I mean, part of a look is everything has to change. So, the hairstyle, why is Storm and Jean still wearing their hair the same way? Do it slightly differently. So I kind of appreciate this from that perspective. I mean, I like it. It just doesn't scream high fashion to me. But again, like Dauterman explained, Cyclops doesn't scream high fashion anyway. So this tracks.
So we're all on the same page. What Dauterman's saying is that Cyclops is a whole ass dork, right? Is that what we're all? But I like it. I don't love it. I mean, Tara, you said a lot of what I felt. It's got a military vibe. He looks like the representative of a small European country in World War II. And I don't hate that vibe. I think that's kind of cool. And again, Scott's not gonna look that cool no matter what. So this is an interesting look. The big ass visor is kind of growing on me, actually, because it's just so odd, and it does make him look kind of like a Power Ranger almost. I'm grading this at a much different scale, because for the other characters, I'm like, oh, you look great, or you look terrible. But for Scott, I'm like, yeah, you know what? For you, not too bad. Not too bad. So that's where I feel about Scott Summers at the Hellfire Gala.
Fariha?
So is this Hellfire Gala open to public, or is just for the mutant?
It's open to the public.
So they invited by invite.
They invited people.
Much like the Met Gala.
The heads of nations and the any.
Right. So because of that, Emma dressed him so that Emma can show off Cyclops as the commanding captain of Krakoa. So this is because it's so practical. If something goes down, he can jump into action right away. And Emma designed him like that, dressed him like that, so that it's like, hey, this is our captain. Talk to him. It's that look. He's still working at the gala. He's not having
Scott's never not working. Scott is at work.
And also, Dauterman haven't read Schism because Scott is very over the top. Or he didn't read Avengers vs. X-Men. He is very over the top.
Yeah, he's a drama queen. So there are things about this that I like. Basically, from the shoulders up, I really think the visor is cool. I think he could have played more with the shape of his face instead of just being broad across. But it's cool. I like the detail on the top of it. I like how it comes down below his nose. I love the super super wide cone collar, which takes the Jim Lee New 52 collars and even pushes it even further. It almost makes him look like his head is falling into a little skee ball pocket, on a skee ball table. But then there's things about it that are confusing. I don't understand why the X is broken up, because it doesn't look like the jacket opens there. It looks like it opens over the other side of the X. So why is the X broken there? I don't really understand it. I don't really understand the bright red abs unless he's gonna burst psychic power out of his or Cyclops power out of his abs. I think he could have shown his abs. I think his Phoenix 5 costume is it's ugly, but it's also kind of cool. And I just feel like this is a little confused. But then the thing that's the most confusing about it is it's clearly that he's going to be in soldier, but even as a soldier, you wouldn't be in a onesie like that. Your military jacket would come down from the waist and be a blazer. And so I just think that it's weird that it's not separates. I think we would all think this looked cooler if the top was actually a blazer. Yeah. And then, or if it was clear that the top was a bolero jacket and it actually cuts off at his abs and it's just his bare skin, I think we would also love it more. But the fact, because even from the back, it almost looks like it nips in at the waist. But I think because it looks like
basking.
Yeah, because it looks like a superhero costume, I think we're kind of it's a superhero costume.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Again, trying to do high fashion and superhero costume.
I think it's a cool idea that doesn't totally come together.
I'm just realizing it's not a blazer. All this time I thought it was a blazer.
It's kind of a blazer, but I think it's connected.
Is. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because at the back, there's a line. So
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Am I going to be the only person who's going to be wondering if it's a blazer or not until that issue comes out?
No, look at who you're talking to.
Yeah, just is it or not? I don't fucking know.
Okay. All right. The next look up is Rachel Summers, and I think this one has caused the most controversy from what I've seen online. Yeah. So Dauterman actually says Leah Williams directed some aspects of this look, which we love. So she wanted the hound look. She wanted some kind of a muzzle. So we got to say that Leah's looking for some specific things out of this and take that into account. But Tyler, what did you think?
Well, I mean, before my reaction before learning that Williams asked for it and after Williams asked for it is quite different, because before I learned that Williams asked for this, I'm like, this is not a look that Rachel would spot, in the sense that why would she remind herself or wear something that reminded herself of the worst time in her life? So it doesn't kind of make sense to me. And why is she using hair as a leash to Amazing Baby? It kind of doesn't make sense. But I mean, to be fair, after I read the thing that Williams basically asked for it, I kind of remembered that she wore something similar in Excalibur when she first, in her red costume in Excalibur is something like that. So maybe there is some thought process to it. But yeah, I mean, the first thing to me is that this is a Met Gala look.
Yes.
I just don't think it is a look that... my first reaction would be, I just don't think it is a look that Rachel would choose. So that's my take on it.
Harry.
Yeah, this definitely feels like the most like almost classical high fashion Met thing, but through the lens of an Age of Apocalypse character, which I don't totally see meshing well. I don't know why. Maybe it's just, I don't know why this is the one thing that's getting at me, but like, I wish around her face the spikes wouldn't go the whole way around, because it's showing that her face is kind of covered, but like because of the spikes, it kind of gets kind of busy, and I don't know if like her mouth's supposed to be showing or not, or maybe I've just lost my mind and that's like the one weird thing I'm fixating on. But yeah, this is where I feel like my own lack of like high fashion knowledge, because like I feel like this is like a faithful approach for that kind of like super out there kind of fashion, but I just don't know if like the abundance of spikes and all of that works, and it doesn't like click for me. But that's just me speaking as a humble amateur here.
Fariha?
So I don't know anything about Rachel's history that Tyler's mentioning, so I can't comment on that. But little bit I know about Rachel. I feel like she got the invite for the gala, went online, looked up Met Gala, and then she's like, oh, you know what? I got this. And then she came up with this. It was a very much of like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and then got some spiked up. And then, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing actually moves. Like this whole thing is like a moving one. And then she just put it together like Amazing Baby, let's go. We're going to a gala. That's what happened.
I really hated it at first for the reasons that Tyler talked about, like the whole, like, why would she revisit this? But I understand there's a whole reclaiming your trauma aspect to that too, that a lot of people online connected with. But here's the thing, as I look at it more and more, this is legit the one that screams Met Gala to me. And there's only two things about it that I wish we could change a little bit. It's verbatim a thing that Lady Gaga has kind of worn. I mean, it's very Lady Gaga's living dress from the Monster Ball. Yeah. It's very Lady Gaga had this inflatable look that grew as she walked the red carpet. Shangela also did it on Drag Race. It's very that, which screams get away from me, right? Like as she walks and it gets bigger and bigger. The only two things that are strange to me is, one, why is the hair leash not her hair, like connected to her head? It would be so much cooler if the hair leash was continuous from her head. Like imagine somebody at the Met Gala had a purse where the strap to the purse was the braid of their hair. Like that, that's next level. I feel like it's such an easy miss. Like it's right there. And then the other thing is, I just don't get the 4 little metal spikes on her midsection. Like why I know that they're trying to bring that like silver color story from around her face down onto the body, but they're just 4 of them. They're too small. They're making her almost look like pregnant because the way that they like form that vertical curve. Like do more, go bigger. Either make some of the shoulders silver too, so that the silver color story is like through the whole body, or give us like humongous spikes. Do it as a peplum off the waist. Do it as a spike that could impale you if you try to talk to her. Make it about social distancing. So but otherwise, I actually think this is really, really cool. I just wish those two things were like a little bit more pulled into the whole look.
And watch out, Venom. The next Carnage is in the house.
Yeah, let's get the Rachel Black, White, and Blood book, right? She's ready. This is a better Carnage look than Carnage has ever done. Okay, moving on. to the himbo section of the runway because next up is Angel, and all those abs I was asking for Scott are all right here. So Angel is one of the richest X-Men, and Dauterman says Angel's look skews more towards human clothes since he's interacting with the human business world, but still less practical and more bold, like mutant clothes. Tyler, what do you have to say about this?
I mean, I don't know if this is high fashion. That's one thing. And I don't know if this is costumey, superhero costumey. So this doesn't work on both levels. And the cape thing, Fabian Cortex is wearing it. The shorts things with shirtless, Darken is sporting it. So I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it for reasons that I think it's not high fashion and it's not superhero costume. I mean, I do like Angel shirtless.
Nobody's arguing with that part.
Yeah.
No, please. That's the baseline.
Yeah. So I mean, I wish he would do something really different. Like just come with like, if you want to show off your wings, cover every part of your body up and just show your wings. Or just, be bold, just wear a bathing suit and just appear.
I like it a lot, weirdly. I don't look at this as like possibly a superhero costume. This seems very, very divorced from that. This just seems like something you would see at a fashion show, which, maybe that takes points away from originality, but this definitely seems like something you could just catch like before the plague times. I don't know why, but I really, really like the kind of the jacket with the chain clasp kind of like connecting it. It feels very loose, and with the pants, it's kind of very breezy, and it kind of has that nice like attitude for who Angel is, who is Himbo Prime. I feel like weirdly, like the costume the outfit kind of goes well with his personality. And it's not super complicated, but it gets the job done. And there's a lot of abs, and come on, that's always good.
Yeah.
Calm down, everyone. So
give me 15 minutes. I'll be right back. No.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, what Tyler said, Dakin sported this so well in the last X Factor issue. Just go and see it. There was like 3 pages of him, one like full body. Like it takes away from that. And Dakin also had the whole tattoo and everything going for him. I like this because, like Harry said, that it's very fashion and everything. I wish he did some pizzazz to these wings as well. He added some more, like, I don't know, some weird random things on it.
Some
like
accents.
Some accents, or colored it somehow or something. I think that would have brought it home better. But, another thing is that X that comes together is not X enough. Like, it needed to be bolder. So it just, like, maybe he just wanted everyone's eyes to draw to his abs, which for that, mission successful.
I mean, I really love this. There are very few things about it that I think are not working, except for what Fariha said. I think he has that cool stripe of blue on his forehead, and it would have just been cool to have the blue accent somewhere else, maybe a little stripe on his chest, or maybe a little bit on the outside of the wings, just to like pull that together. But I love it. I love the detail of the back, that it's not even a bolero jacket. It actually just has this little notch on the back that rests between his wings, so that if he had to get in a fight, he could just kind of whip it off right over his head. And that's why it doesn't have sleeves. It's kind of just like a half cape. I love it. I love high-waisted sailor waist pants. I mean, I love rocking that look. For somebody who has has short legs, it extends your torso, and it makes like your legs look even longer. The only thing that I would like actually change and not just bandy about is the hem of the pants needs to be longer. Like, why? They're culottes. Why are they at his ankle? Like, they should go all the way down. I know he wants to show off his boots, but like that hem is too high. When he sits down, it's going to be at his knees. So that's my only thing. I love this. I would absolutely 100% wear this to the Hellfire Gala. No alterations, except for the pants. Okay, that was the first 5 looks of this Hellfire Gala reveal. We'll be back with another episode to go over the other 5 looks of this reveal. So what has been your favorite from this first 5? And what would you change if you could go into one of these looks and change one of the outfits? Let us know, and we'll be back with more special edition This Week in X.